global positioning system overview and global positioning GPS signals, GPS orbits. Okay, global positioning system overview, GPS orbits, GPS signals we completed, and GLONASS overview, GLONASS orbits, GLONASS signals also completed. After that, we completed comparison of GPS and GLONASS also. Yes or no? So in the afternoon session, we discussed yesterday's in the afternoon session we discussed about satellite navigation. Satellite navigation. So in the satellite navigation, we discussed why we need to use the satellite navigation. What are the techniques we are going to use? Okay, and what is the comparison of navigation systems? How many types we have? Who is the owner? And how long it covers? And what type of code is going to use? And what is the elevation? And what is the time period? And what is how many satellites are going to use for each and every system? Then what is the frequency of each and every system? Up to now up to that point we completed. After that we discussed already GPS time also. So in that we already discussed about UTC also, coordinated universal time. Okay, so now we are going to discussing about global positioning, GPS position calculation. GPS position calculation. See, in this, we need to see that let us assume that here we have a 4 GPSs. GPS 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, these three, excuse me, these 4 GPSs are working like act as a transmitters. Or you need to assume that these 4 GPSs are like act as a satellites. Let us assume that if you send any information from GPS transmitter, if you want to transmit ear information from GPS transmitter to GPS receiver through satellite. Here we have 4 GPS satellites here we have. Okay, these 4 GPSs will send the information to GPS receiver. These GPSs will getting the information from GPS transmitters. The data which is acquiring from GPS transmitters. Okay, now let us assume that if you want to send GPS 1 data from GPS 1 satellite to GPS receiver, means it should be travel D1 distance. It should be travel and the data should be travel D1 distance from GPS 1 to GPS receiver. And GPS 2 also will have to travel D2 distance from GPS 2 to GPS receiver. And GPS 3 also will have to travel from GPS 3 to GPS receiver. It should be travel D3 distance. And GPS 4 also will have to travel D4 distance from GPS 4 to GPS receiver. So the GPS calculation, the receiver uses 4 equations. Why means here we are taking 4 GPSs. So these from 4 GPSs, if the data will travel from those 4 GPSs to GPS receivers, these data should be travel D1, D2, D3 and D4 distances from their respective GPSs to GPS receivers. So the GPS calculation in the receiver uses 4 equations. In the 4 unknown X and Y, Z, unknown X, Y, Z and TC, where X and Y, Z are the receiver coordinators, where X and Y, Z are the receiver's coordinators, and TC is the time correction for the GPS receiver, and TC is the time correction for the GPS receivers clock. Here we have the 4 equations are D1, D2, D3, D4. D1 is equals to square root of x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square plus z1 minus z2 whole square. For D2 also same. So x2 minus x1 whole square, y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. D3 also x3 minus x1 whole square root of x3 minus x whole square plus y3 minus y whole square plus z3 minus z whole square. Similarly, D4 also square root of x4 minus x whole square plus y4 minus y whole square plus z4 minus z whole square. So these are the equations, 4 equations, where from 4 equations where c is the speed of the light. I think you know the speed of the light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. The speed of the light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. And here we have times that T1, TT2, TT3, TT4. These are the times that GPS satellites 1, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. That transmitted their signals, that is, these times are provided to the receiver as a part of the information that is transmitted. Here we have a times that the signals from GPS satellites 1, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. The first time indicates that the transmitted their signals time, which means that how much time is required for transmitting the data from GPS transmitter to satellite or GPS 1, 2, 3 and 4. Second one, TR, 1, TR, 2, TR, 3, TR, 4 are the times that the signals from GPS satellite 1, 2, 3, 4 respectively are received. So according to inaccurate GPS receivers clock. X1, Y1, Z1 are the coordinates of GPS satellite 1. X1, Y1 are the coordinates of GPS satellite 1. Similarly, X2, Y2, Z2 coordinates of GPS satellite 2. X3, Y3, Z3 coordinates of GPS satellite 3. X4, Y4, Z4 are the coordinates of GPS satellite 4. These coordinates are provided to the receiver as a part of the information that is transmitted. Okay, so the receiver solves these equations. The receiver solves these equations simultaneously. The receiver solves these equations simultaneously to determine x, y, z and TC. The receiver solves these equations simultaneously to determine X, Y, Z and TC. And next is GPS constellation. GPS constellation. A satellite constellation is a satellite constellation is a group of a satellite constellation is a group of artificial satellites. A satellite constellation is a group of artificial satellites working together as a system. A satellite constellation is a group of artificial satellites working together working together as a system. As a system. Unlike a signal satellite, unlike a signal satellite, a constellation, unlike a signal satellite, a constellation can provide, a constellation can provide permanent global or near global coverage. Unlike a signal satellite, a constellation can provide permanent global or near global coverage such that at any time everywhere such that at any time everywhere on earth at least one satellite is visible. At least one satellite is visible. The satellites are typically placed in sets of complementary orbital planes. These satellites are typically placed in sets of complementary orbital planes. The satellites are typically placed in sets of complementary orbital planes and connect to globally distributed ground stations. So these satellites are typically placed in sets of complementary orbital planes and connects to globally distributed ground stations. They may also use inter-satellite communication. They may also use inter-satellite communication. They may also use inter-satellite communication. The satellites in medium Earth orbit, MEO, medium Earth orbit, MEO in the sense medium Earth orbit. Satellites in MEO and LEO, lower Earth orbit or low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit are often deployed in satellite constellations. Are often deployed in satellite constellations because the coverage area provided by a single satellite only. It covers a small area that moves as the satellite travels at the high angular velocity, travels at the high angular velocity needed to maintain its orbit. Needed to maintain its orbit. Many MEOs or LEOs, many medium Earth orbit or low Earth orbit satellites, or many medium Earth orbit or low Earth orbit satellites are needed to maintain continuous coverage over an area. Many medium Earth orbit or low Earth orbit satellites are needed to maintain continuous coverage over an area. This contrast with geostationary satellites. This contrast with geostationary satellites, where a single satellite at a much higher elevation and moving at the same angular velocity as the rotation of the Earth's surface. At a much higher elevation, and moving at the same angular velocity as the rotation of the Earth's surface, and it provides permanent coverage over a large area. It provides permanent coverage. It provides permanent coverage over a large area. Coming to satellite constellation used for navigation. So how you will able to use the satellite constellation for navigation purpose? Again, we need to discuss all GPS, GLONASS, right? NAV-IC, QZSS, then Galileo, BeiDou. Okay, all this we have to discuss again now. We need to see that satellite constellation used for navigation. So under that, the first one is name of the satellite system, who is the operator, how many satellites and orbits are going to use for each and every satellite system, whether it is covered globally or regionally, and what is the service it is going to provide, and what is the status, whether it is in operation state or not, it is in operational condition or not, and from which year onwards it is under process or under going on. So these parameters we are going to see in the satellite constellation used for navigation. The first one is, and the first and foremost one is the global positioning system, GPS. The first one is global positioning system. The operator name is USSF. The operator name is USSF. Coming to how many satellites are there in the GPS, 24 satellites. And 6 orbits we have. 6 orbital planes we have. So here we have 24 satellites and 6 orbital planes we have, and it will cover around 20,180 kilometers above. And the angle with equator is 55 degrees. And it will cover globally. What type of service it is going to provide means, for navigation purpose we are going to use this GPS. The status of this is operational only. From each year onwards it is under service, means from 1993 to till now it is under service only. Okay, so this is the basic description of GPS system. Basic description of GPS system. Then coming to GLONASS. This GLONASS, who is the owner for this GLONASS? The owner for GLONASS is Russia. Yes or no? Russia only, right? Okay, the owner for this GLONASS is Russia. So because that reason, the operator name is Roscosmos. Roscosmos. And how many satellites in this GLONASS we are going to use? 24 satellites only. These 24 satellites we are going to keep into 3 planes. And these three planes range will 19,130 kilometers. 19,130 kilometers. And the angle with the equator is 64 degrees 8 MEOs, medium earth orbit, and which is covered globally only, which is used for navigation purpose. It is under operational only from 1995 to till now. It is under service only. So this is the basic description of GLONASS. This is the basic description of GLONASS. Next one is Galileo. Galileo. The next system is Galileo. Who is the owner for Galileo? The owner for Galileo is European Union or Soviet Union. And the operator name is GSA and ESA. GSA and ESA. And how many satellites we are going to use in the Galileo? 24 satellites only we are going to use in this Galileo. These 24 satellites we are going to keep into are split into 3 planes, or we are going to keep it into 3 planes. So in each and every plane we are going to keep into 8 satellites, and it is covered and around 23,222 kilometers, and the angle with equator is 56 degrees MEOs, medium earth orbit. Medium earth orbit. And it is covered globally. And it is covered globally. And it is used for navigation service purpose. It is under operational state only. And from 2019 onwards till now it is under service only. So in the year 2019 onwards till now it is under service only. Coming to the next one, BeiDou. BeiDou. Who is the owner for this BeiDou? China. China was the owner for this BeiDou. And the operator name is CNSA. And the operator name is CNSA. In this we are going to use 3 geostationary satellites. These 3 keep into 3 planes. 3 geostationary satellites will cover around 35,786 kilometers. 35,786 kilometers. Angle with equator is 55 degrees GSOs, geostationary orbit. So in this here we have a 24 satellites. These 24 satellites will keep into 3 orbital planes. These 3 orbital planes will cover around 21,150 kilometers with 55 degrees angle with equator MEO. Addition to these 24 satellites, we have a 3 geostationary satellites also for BIDO. So in the BIDO, and it is covered around globally, and it is used for navigation purpose. It is under operational status only, and it is starts from 2012 to till now. 2012 to till now, around Asia it will cover. From 2018 to till now, it will cover globally. 2012 to till now, it will cover Asia, around Asia. So from 2018 to till now, it will cover globally. So this is the basic description of BIDOS. NAVIC. Next one is NAVIC. Who is the owner for NAVIC? The owner for NAVIC is India. The owner for NAVIC is India. And the operator name is, who will going to operate this? ISRO. ISRO is going to operate this NAVIC satellite system. And in this, we have 3 geostationaries. Will cover around 35,786 kilometers. 4 in 2 planes. 4 satellites in 2 planes. So in each and every plane, we are going to keep in 2 satellites, and it will cover 250 to 24,000 kilometers, 29 degrees with equator, and it is covered regionally, and it is used for navigation purpose. It is under operational status only. It is starts from 2018 to till now, under service only. It is starts from 2018 to till now under under service only. So this is the satellite constellation used for navigation. Satellite constellation used for navigation purpose. Coming to QZSS. QZSS. Who is the owner for QZSS? The owner for QZSS is Japan. So the operator name is JAXA. JAXA. So in that we have 1 geostationary satellite and 3 satellites in 3 planes. This 1 geostationary satellite will cover 35,786 kilometers, and these 3 satellites will be covered 32,600 to 39,000 kilometers, and the angle 43 degrees with equator. And this QZSS is covered regionally, and it will provide the service of navigation. It is under operational status only, and it starts from 2018 to till now, under service only. It starts from 2018 to till now under service of satellite constellation used for navigation purpose. Then the next is operation segmentation. Operation segment. And the next is operation segment. Or control segment. Operation segment or control segment. The GPS control segment. The GPS control segment consists of a global network of ground facilities. The GPS control segment. The GPS control segment consists of a global network of ground facilities that track the GPS satellites monitor the transmissions, perform analysis, and send command and data to the constellation. See, in this point we have a four major activities are going on. Four major activities are going on in the first point in the control segment. First, you need to track the GPS satellite. First, you need to track the GPS satellite. And the next is monitor their transmissions. You need to track the satellite and monitor their transmissions, and you need to do the performance analysis. So once if you do the performance analysis, you need to send the commands. You need to send commands and data. You need to send commands and data to the constellation. Monitor, first you need to track the GPS satellite, monitor the transmissions, perform the analysis, and send commands and data to the constellation. Then the next point is current operational control segment, OCS. OCS, operational control segment. Operational control segment. This operational control segment includes a master control station. The operational control segment includes a master control station, an alternate master control station, 11 commands and control antennas, and 16 monitoring sites. This master control station have an alternate control station with 11 commands and control antenna and 16 monitoring sites. This master control station will have alternate master control station, 11 commands and control antenna, and 16 monitoring sites. So this is the elements of control segment. First, you need to monitor the station. So in the monitor the station, we are going to see the transmissions, performance analysis, and we are going to send the commands and data to the ground antenna via master control station. So via master control station only we are able to monitor the station, entire station. Okay, in that we are going to do the all tracking the satellite, their transmissions, performance and analysis, all these under the master control only. After that you need to send to ground station or ground antenna. Then we need to discuss one by one: monitor station, master control, and ground antenna. So in the next class we will discuss in detail. Okay, now we are going to discussing about quiz questions.